Hey there and welcome. So, have you ever wanted to start learning German but felt, a little overwhelmed? Well, in the next few minutes, we're going to build your very first block of vocabulary. And we'll do it by connecting German words to both English and Hindi to really make them stick. Let's jump right in. All right, so are you ready? Let's kickstart your German vocabulary. Our whole goal here is to make this fast, fun, and totally unforgettable. Okay, so first things first, we're going to start with the world right in front of you, the tangible, everyday objects. Honestly, it's the most natural way to build a solid foundation in any new language. Our very first word is der Tisch, which means the table. Now, I want you to pay close attention to that first part, der. We'll see why that's so important in just a moment. For now, just picture it. The documents are on der Tisch. Next up, we've got die Tür, the door. Notice this one starts with die. You can easily imagine someone saying, hey, someone is knocking on die Tür. And to complete our first little set, we have das Fenster, the window. A perfect example is, please open das Fenster. Now, hold on. Did you catch the pattern with those first three words? Der, die, and das? What's up with that? So, you just saw der, die, and das. They all mean the, but, and this is so cool, in German, every single noun has a gender. It can be masculine, feminine, or neuter. This is a core concept called grammatical gender, and learning the noun with its article from the start is a total game changer. Let's lock that idea in with one more example. Der Apfel, the apple. And just like that, we've covered our first four nouns and even dipped our toes into some real German grammar. That's a great start, right? Now for a fantastic memory trick, learning words in pairs of opposites. This is so powerful because when you learn one word, your brain automatically cues up its counterpart. You essentially get two for the price of one. Let's kick this off with temperature. On one side, we've got warm, like a cozy cup of coffee. On the other, kalt, for a freezing winter day. Simple, but absolutely essential. This next pair is just fundamental. You have richtig for right or correct, and falsch for wrong or false. I mean, these are your essential tools for agreeing or disagreeing in any conversation. And here's a super practical pair you'll use constantly. Teuer for expensive, and its opposite, billig for cheap. Absolutely essential if you're ever shopping or just talking about prices. Our final pair for this section describes sound. We've got laut for loud, like the energy at a concert, and leise for quiet, like the calm of a library. Two very different situations, two very useful words. Okay, so we've talked about things and how to describe them. Now let's level up a bit and move from the physical world into the realm of actions and ideas. First up is the verb lesen, which means to read. How perfect is that? It's literally what we're doing right now. You could say something like, the children are learning to lesen in class. And what goes hand in hand with reading? Writing, of course. And that's schreiben, to write. He wants to schreiben a letter to his grandfather. These two verbs, I'm telling you, they're the pillars of communication. Now for an abstract noun, die Idee. This one's a gift, really, because it sounds just like its English counterpart, the idea. Every great invention, every plan, it all starts with an Idee. And how do we express an idea? Well, we use a Wort, which means the word. For example, friendship is a very important Wort to me. See how they all connect? And finally, what are we doing here together? We're exploring a Sprache, the German word for language. German is a fascinating Sprache to learn. This just beautifully ties everything together. All right, we can't wrap this up without a few numbers, right? No language foundation is complete without them. Let's do a quick lightning round. We have 4, which is wir.
Then we have 5, which is fünf.
And let's jump to 10, which is 10. So you've got 4, 5, 10. A great start for counting anything. And that brings us to the end of our quick tour. But this isn't really an end, it's a starting line. You've just built a really solid base. Let's just think about what we did here. In just a few minutes, you've learned a core set of German nouns, adjectives, and verbs. You've discovered that powerful memory trick with opposites, and you've been introduced to that key concept of grammatical gender. That is a huge amount of ground to cover in such a short time. Remember, learning a language is a journey, not a destination. And you've just taken a really confident first step. So, the only question left is, what word will you learn next?